Hello, everybody. So here I am live on Facebook. And have you missed me? Let's see. Who is it? Whoops. Hang on. Let's have a look. So I don't know if I've got this camera angle right. It's been a long time. Hello, Andrew. It's been a very long time. The last time I live streamed was on December the 7th. Right, I'm just trying to get a better camera angle. Whoever is on the Facebook as a user who's had hi Lynn, can you give Facebook permission to tell me who you are, or tell me who you are anyway? Because it just says Facebook user. If you're coming in from the group, the Go Live Granny community group, you have to give permission. Whoever it is to say, so I've got Facebook users saying hello. I've got somebody saying great to see you, Lynn. I can't see who you are if you're coming in from the Facebook group. What you need, hi Bethy, you need to give Facebook permission. I've forgotten. Can somebody, Andrew, do you know, can you remember how we do that? How we give permission. Hi Shane. Hi Pizza. Now Pizza, be nice. You were nagging me for not being here on time. I'm sorry. Hello, Kath. So, Andrew, can you remember? Oh, it's Janice. Look, Janice. Nice to see you. Whoops. Hang on. Hello, Tom. Tom coming in from Ipswich. Andrew's saying you've all missed me so very much. Well, actually, I wasn't even going to come live tonight. That wasn't a plan for today. But after the day I've had, and I went live earlier. Hi, Sharon. After I went live earlier on the bus, I thought, well, why don't I go live? Hello, Joanne. Nice. Joanne's coming in from Canada there. Nice to see you all. So, Andrew, can you remember how we go to Facebook and get the people in Facebook who are in the Facebook group? Oh, here we are. There we are. Look, Andrew's put the link up, streamyard.com/Facebook. So if you're in the Go Live Granny Community Facebook group, can you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give permission so we can see who you are? So it'd be nice to see your names coming up there. I know I haven't got my lighting right, but don't worry about that, folks. So let's see. Kath's just come in. Rachel's just come in. Michaela's in. Wow, lots of you lovely people. Oh, it's your brother Wesley. Okay, Finley. Oh, Pizza again is your brother Wesley. Okay, Finley, that's fine. So thank you, everybody. So Finley box 1. Finley box 17, welcome to the Go Live Granny community. And wow, so there's so lots of you coming in there, and I'm just looking to see. So I hadn't got a plan to go live tonight, so I'm sure most of you know what went on in my life. Way back in November, I had a terrible cough, and lots of you said to me, Lynn, go to the doctors, you've got a bad cough. I was coughing and it was hard to broadcast. So I went to the doctors and they gave me an appointment sort of about another week later. So I went to the doctors and went for that appointment. I didn't see a doctor. I saw a nurse practitioner, and she listened to my chest and she said there was nothing wrong. And so, I went away. There obviously was something wrong because my cough continued and it got worse. And if you remember way back in November, the end of November, the beginning of December, and I did my last live stream on the 7th of December. I can't remember which day I went into hospital, but I know it was a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was a Tuesday. And I was down in town and I was sitting in Pickle and Dill, which is one of our lovely little independent shops down in Ryde. And I felt so ill. I'm not one. I'm one who through my life has hardly ever been ill. I've had more illness, obviously, lately in my latter years than I ever had in my whole life before. And I was sitting in there. They do wonderful food in there. I ordered myself something and I didn't enjoy it. In fact, I took it home in a doggy. They gave it to me in a doggy bag to take home. I don't know whether I ever ate it or not, but I was just feeling so ill. I was feeling really, really ill. So I rang the surgery. It was still surgery hours, and I rang the surgery and said, I want to make an appointment to see the doctor. And the receptionist said, oh, so we're sort of now somewhere like, I don't know what day of the week the 7th was, but that's when I last live streamed. So let's say probably it was about the Tuesday after that, I think. So I don't, as I say, anybody tell me what the day, what that was, because I can't remember when the 7th was. So anyway, it's probably about the next Tuesday. I think I was in hospital for about 10 days. Came out on the 23rd. So that might make sense. That, yeah, okay. So what happened? Yes, so I was in pickle and dill, and I just felt so ill. I've never felt as poorly as I felt sitting there. And I rang the surgery, and I think and so rang the surgery, and the receptionist again said, oh, well, so I think it must have been somewhere near about the 13th, 12th or 13th. And I, rang the surgery. I said, I need to see the doctor. And she said, oh, yes, we'll make you an appointment for the 20th. Bearing in mind, this is about the 12th or the 13th. So that was another week, at least about another week away. I said, well, that's all right. You can make the appointment, but I'm not coming. And folks, take this on board. You don't have to stick with what they said, because I tell you, if I'd have stuck with what that receptionist at my doctor said, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now. I'd be, you know, I'd have popped my clogs, basically. I would not be here to tell you. So, if ever you get into that situation, disregard what the receptionist is trying to do. She's a gatekeeper. She's trying to stop you getting to the doctors. Someone was sitting in there, and I think so. And then they asked me loads of questions, and then they said, "Can you get in to the hospital? Can you come in as a walking patient into the hospital?" So my brother came and picked me up, took me up there and dropped me off, which was amazing. It's wonderful to have people around you who can do these things, because for me to get to the hospital when I was ill, that's 2 buses. And I wouldn't have wanted to do that, and I couldn't afford a taxi, but my wonderful brother took me to the hospital. And that's where I cannot fault the NHS. They were absolutely marvellous. They were really marvellous. They swung into action. They were overloaded. They were absolutely overloaded with patients. I happened to be lucky enough to be put in a little bay with curtains round, but I could see under the curtain, so they pulled the curtains around me, but under the curtain I could see that in the corridor they had more beds. So they had a patient the other side of the curtain who hadn't got a little cubicle, who was just in the corridor. Those staff were working their socks off. And then I noticed that maybe that bed was wheeled away, having dealt with that patient, and they were off somewhere else. Another one would arrive. So even while I was in that cubicle, they were dealing with so many people, and they were doing it with such a good spirit. They were really lovely. So cannot fault. I will be writing a letter of grateful thanks to the hospital in the next few days. I will also be writing a letter of complaints about the way my doctor's surgery ignored me. I am not a commodity that they can throw away. I'm a real person. And fortunately, I'm still a real person, and not somebody who has been thrown away and, put in a box and whatever. So if you do get anything like that, if you are poorly and the doctors won't see, or the receptionist won't let you see the doctor, then dial 111 and be insistent. I didn't need to be insistent with 111 because they just asked me lots of questions about, my condition, and they knew that I needed to be in hospital. So I was in hospital, and I was in hospital for, I think, for about 10 days, and I came out of hospital on the 23rd of December. So Christmas last year went completely out of the window. I was supposed to be spending Christmas with my son and his family in the Manchester area. There was no way I could travel. And in the end, I decided, you know what? It's just another day. And so we still have probably not had our Christmas. We're probably about to have our Christmas now, because as I speak to you, my nephew and his wife and my great niece are in the air on the way from Australia for a holiday in the UK. They arrive at Gatwick in the wee small hours tomorrow. And my brother, who was very kind and helped me today, is probably asleep now because he's going up to Gatwick. They don't yes, they're going up to Gatwick to meet the family. So but as I say, he was brilliant. He took me up to the hospital and made sure I was okay. And then I said, look, you can go now. I'm in safe hands. And so that was good. Most of my stay I can't fault. There were two night nurses who were not the best in the world. And that's the only fault. I don't want to find fault, but when you're ill and then you get told off because you managed to wet the bed because you weren't compos mentis, one nurse said to me, "Why did you wet the bed?" I said, I didn't choose to do that. I couldn't actually really argue because I wasn't feeling very strong. But, if you're in the nursing profession, those are not questions you should be asking the patients. But they did ask the patient. Let's go on talk there. So June's on Facebook. She says, glad I'm back and doing well. Hang on, let's have a look. I am okay. Pizza Can is asking me if I'm okay. Andrew's tagging Ailey to see if she's there. Nice to have me back. So yeah, so the people in the group, if you can go onto streamyard.com/Facebook and give it permission to tell me who you are. That would help, because there's several of you coming in from the Facebook group, the Go Live Granny group, and I can't tell who's making which comment. Okay, so if you can't put your name in there, when you make the comment, put your name in and then make your comment, and then I'll know who I'm talking to. So because otherwise it's a bit difficult. So Cass tagging Richard, thank you. Receptionists love to ask lots of questions and think they are doctors. Yes, and I have to say it was not a good experience. But as I say, I did what I needed to do. I got into hospital, and I'm here to tell the tale. So I came out on the 23rd, and I had Christmas here on my own. But it didn't matter. When I arrived home, one set of neighbours, my neighbours next door but one, that way, they are lovely. All my neighbours are lovely. Don't get me wrong, but they had noticed that I was poorly from my Facebook pages, and then they noticed when I was coming out of hospital, and the mother and the daughter are carers, and wow, they looked after me, because when I came out, the daughter messaged me and said, she knew I was on my way home from the hospital, and she said, would you like me to come in with you? And I hadn't replied, but when the ambulance dropped me off, she was already here, and she came in with me. She helped me, and I was put on what they call a virtual ward. They release me from hospital to home, but I live on my own, of course. But so, this is a new system, the virtual ward. So basically, I had to take my own readings of my blood pressure and all the bits and pieces they needed to know. And they would ring me and I would give them the results. And that way you could be released from hospital and free up the bed for the next person. And I was fine with that. But my lovely neighbour, she came in. In fact, I think they've still got my door keys, because she came in and she looked after me for several days before I felt well enough to do all that myself. So I am so grateful to her. I'm grateful to so many people. Paula, who's one of the Sweet Duo, any of you who know the Sweet Duo on the Isle of Wight who are singers, Mark and Paula, she lives further down my road. And I got a bit cross because why would I get cross? Well, I was told that I could be released from hospital on the 22nd. And they said, but I needed oxygen in place at my flat. Well, the oxygen people were going to come, but they couldn't give a time when they were going to come. David was very busy doing pre-Christmas stuff, and he couldn't come over. He lives in Newport, so that's half an hour away from me. And he couldn't come here and just sit and wait until the oxygen people decided to arrive. And they wouldn't release me from hospital till the oxygen was here. But I had up until 6 o'clock to be released on the 22nd. Well, Paula very kindly said she'd sort out the oxygen. But in order to do it, she had to drive all the way into Newport, come and see me and get my keys, because at that point my spare keys were indoors. So she came and she got my keys, drove all the way back and connected with the oxygen people and got the oxygen put inside. 6 o'clock came, they didn't release me. I was so angry. I wanted to be home. And well, I got over it very quickly, but let's say I wasn't angry. I was frustrated because I wanted to be home. Anyway, I said, look, what's the point of her coming all the way over to Newport to get my keys to go back and get the oxygen in if you're not going to let me out? So I felt frustrated for her. Anyway, she was wonderful. And I have so many wonderful people around me. You lovely people online, lots of you sent messages. You were checking in with Yvonne and Corrie and people that knew more about my condition. Some of you were checking up with people, in Kath, of course. So that lots of you got the information without having to come to me, because I wasn't well and you didn't want to bug me. So that was lovely. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's see. All doctors are the same. We'd be better off trying to get past the Gestapo. Richard's in there now. That's lovely. You've heard of some hospitals that have patients who have to sit on the floor as no beds or bed bays available. The toilet leaked, and nobody spotted it for a while until it had soaked a floor. I was moved from I was moved 2 or 3 times while I was in hospital, and the last ward I was in, they opened it up as a ward for the overflow. Those of us getting better went in the overflow, but we had an overflow in the overflow. But it was fascinating, because there's a lady who works in a hospital and works on a machine that cleans up spillages and things like that, and so she was actually on duty, and she came in on this big machine, and I was having a fine time watching them gather up all this water, because it had actually literally soaked the whole of the floor without anybody noticing it, because none of the staff had come in and the rest of us were in bed, so we didn't notice. But anyway, that all got, there were some amusing things happened. I had a brilliant doctor. Some of you will have seen me put a picture up of the doctor, one of the doctors that was attending to me. I put various pictures up during the time, but anyway, I am here to tell the tale. I've been out of hospital since the 23rd of December. So that's December, January, February, March. 3 months I was out. I've come out. Hello, Tom. Tom is, I'm much mended, much better. How? I know not. Oh, somebody on Facebook says, I know how busy it was in that A&E. I was there on Boxing Day. Oh no, I was in A&E on Boxing Day several years ago. I had an abscess, and no, wait a minute. No, I'd had a crown, and I got an abscess under the crown, and I got in. I had an infection in the bone. Whoa, that was painful. So I ended up at A&E on Boxing Day. Not not the best. Anyway, another Facebook user there. Oh, this must be Ailey, because she's coming in from Invergordon. She says she's been praying for my recovery. Glad I'm feeling a lot better now. Flowers from Invergordon, Scotland. Excellent. But I don't know who was in A&E, because I can't see who that is. Tom's asking me. I'm fine now, thank you. Sounds like a great time ahead, and their visit. My neighbours moved to Australia earlier this year to live. Oh, sorry. It sounds like your neighbours moved to Australia earlier this year to live. Excellent. Becky's saying, so great to see me live again. Hope I'm feeling okay. Tracy's saying, yes, Tracy, I can see you there now. Yes, your name's there now. That's lovely. And remind me who made your scarf before Christmas. Has anybody? I sent Yvonne a message, but I don't know if she's arrived here yet. Has she? I don't know. Oh, it was Jackie who was in A&E on the island. Oh, yes, because Jackie came over to see her father, who was in A&E. Right, let's have a look what else we've got. So this is Jane Ireland, I think, made this, didn't she? And it's beautiful. I love this scarf. It's kept me so warm over the last few months. I wore it indoors. I wrapped up very well. When I got home, I made sure that I send the money and all that, but I was not prepared. I didn't want to be back in hospital. And, so if I don't pay my heating bill, are they going to put me in prison or what? I just thought that having the heating on was more important than not having the heating on. So that's what I did. And this was one of the lovely things that kept me warm. I put loads and loads of layers on. My respiratory nurse was very pleased with me. And she said, I said, so what do you mean by doing, I said, and because I was on the oxygen, it's what Yvonne calls her umbilical cord, because Yvonne has oxygen all the time. And so I could actually sympathize with her, because I had this, it's like an umbilical cord. She calls it her umbilical cord. And it's tubing that keeps you attached to the machine that's, the oxygen machine. And in my case, and in her case, it's very long. It allows you to walk around your flat. It allowed me to walk around my flat, go down the stairs, and go into the front garden. The tube was so long. But can you imagine when you're walking around the flat with a very long tube like that, it's going to get itself knotted up and it's going to bend. And of course, if it bends, it cuts the oxygen supply to a degree. So it was, it was a bit of a nightmare. And even when I cleared the way, it still found something to hook itself up on and drag it with it. A bit of a nightmare, but never mind. So anyway, let's have a look. Janice has had similar trouble with her GP. She's changed her doctors. Let's see. I don't know. I'm probably behind with all the comments. So glad for the NHS UK. Yes. So mostly I can't fault the NHS. I am delighted. Their care was, bearing in mind the pressure that they were under around that time, and probably still are with an overload. They were so kind. There were just 2 night nurses who could have got it better. But anyway, not going to dwell on that. That's just all part of the story. Andrew's saying he's glad that we don't have to pay for a fortune for our medical bills. They do an amazing job. Right, I can see some of you tagging Yvonne there. I don't know if she's coming, but I know she saw me earlier when I was on the bus. So Jane's there. Glad to see you back again, Lynn, and nice to see your recovery is going well. Well, my recovery was going very well until this afternoon. And it's so funny because when I went out today, I was not going to take the oxygen bottle. They've taken away the oxygen machine, and I've just got 2 small oxygen canisters and some tubing. And that's just that was just when I came off the oxygen, just in case I needed it while I was walking around the flat. But I hadn't needed it. I felt fine. And I was going out today, and I went into town the other day and I didn't take it with me, and I was fine. And I was going out today and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to take the oxygen today. I don't need that. And then I had a double think, and I'm so glad I double thought it, because I was going to Cowbourne Mill. Now, Cowbourne Mill is a bit out in the sticks, and I couldn't get all the way there on the bus because at this time of year, the number 7 bus that is the Tapnell Farm route, which goes past Cowbourne Mill, doesn't run yet. It has to be, we're not on the summer timetable yet. So I could not get as far as Cowbourne Mill. And, you know, trying to get a taxi out of Newport, that was going to be expensive. I mean, I have had a contribution towards a taxi fare, which I may return because I didn't use the taxi. But my brother very kindly said that he would take me, if I got into Newport to the bus station, he'd take me to Cowbourne. Cowbourne is about 10 minutes outside of Newport. My brother lives in Newport, so he was going to do that. But bearing in mind, I told you that his family are flying into the UK at the wee small hours tomorrow morning. He's a bit busy today. He and his wife are a bit busy today getting those last minute things ready, you know, getting the room ready, getting everything in place. So he didn't really have time to sit and flap about for me, but he was amazing. He didn't get in a phase. Of course, I said, right, well, I'll catch the bus at 10 to 2 and I'll be in Newport at about 2:15. And then he was going to pick me up at the bus station and just run me up to Cowbourne Mill. I'd be there around about 2:30. So there was this event, this thank you event going on, a thank you and a bit of promotion and that at Cowbourne Mill. I did a lot of filming for them last year, which is why obviously I got added into the guest list. And I really wanted to be there and network with all those people that are going to be there, because networking is what I do very well. And then I connect with people, and then we make the next great bits for the community. So I got on the bus. I'd missed the previous bus by about 5 minutes. I saw it go from when I was walking down. I walked down one road and you can see through to the other road, and I saw a bus go there, and I wasn't near enough. I was about 5 minutes. But the buses are every 10 minutes on that route, so it didn't matter. And I saw the bus go, and I thought, oh well, never mind. I'll just catch the next one. It's every 10 minutes. And the next one came along. Well, I hadn't gone very far down the road when I see that the bus I'd missed 5 minutes earlier is sitting at the blue bus, whatever that was, in front of that. And I'm thinking, hang on, what's gone on here? And lots of you, of course, will know that a tree came down. It was blowing a hoolie today, and it was wet. I went out with my famous black bin vest. So when I was really poorly before I went into hospital, and I went down to a council meeting that I wanted to go and rattle the cage, I went with I cut holes in a bin bag and wore it like a vest so that my chest was dry. My coat isn't totally waterproof, but if I got the vest on inside the coat, the vest was keeping me dry over my several layers of clothes, and the coat was still keeping me warm to a degree, but I wasn't getting wet in my skin. So I did the same today. I put that on. So anyway, so I suppose it was less than 10. I was less than 10 minutes into my journey. Got as far as just before Coraby, you know, and all this stuff had stopped. So the buses had stopped, but cars were coming down the outside of the buses that were all parked. And then it became obvious that a tree was down. We couldn't see it that well immediately from where we were, but there was a girl on our bus who was upstairs on the bus, and then she came down and she said, my friend's on the bus coming the other way, and she can see that there's a tree across the road. So we were getting our information from another bus, and so she was giving us that updated. So but what I cannot understand, and they'd be dangerous if they had a brain. So we're sitting there for well over an hour. People arrive with chainsaws to start cutting the tree up, but nobody stops the traffic coming down to the blockage. Why wouldn't you stop the traffic heading for an area it can't get through? Some of the cars had managed to get through because they drove up on the side, but it was very, very muddy, and the bus was not going to go and get stuck in the mud. No way did she want to get stuck in the mud. And also, that bit where the cars were trying to get through had very low overhanging branches, and of course a bus is very tall, so it would have ended up having all sorts of issues up there. So it was not the afternoon I planned. Let's just go on. What mascot do you mean, Finley? Do you mean he says, where's the mascot gone? Do you mean my Trixie, my fairy? Last Easter, you knitted about 100 premature baby hats and sent them to you, Lynn. It doesn't seem a year ago. My goodness, no, it doesn't. That must be Ailey talking about that. Doing okay. I'll PM you later what happened. So I've forgotten who. Oh, is that Jackie? Might be Jackie. I can't remember. I bet Bernie, Trixie, and Granny Gnome kept you company since leaving hospital. Yes, they have. They've been up to some of their tricks. Here's Bertie. Look, he can sit. Whoops, he can sit over there. Can you see him? No, he's not going to sit. Oh, well, he might. Let's see. Let's turn this around a bit. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. There's Bertie. He's keeping an eye. So your oxygen level is 95. Last week it went down to 85. You have to do a peak flow each day. A peak flow. Sorry, I don't know who that is commenting on the oxygen levels. Not being able to breathe. Yeah, it wasn't funny. But so what happened today? Why I was back on. So as I said, I was going out, and I wasn't going to take the oxygen bottle with me, but then I did I second thought it and thought, do you know what? Cowbourne Mill is out in the sticks, right? So it's a bit remote part of the island, not that remote, but a bit remote. And should anything happen, it would take a little while for the ambulance to get there. Not that long, but So I thought, it's damp and cold. I haven't been out much since I've been better. I picked my days when I went out as to going out on the nicer days, but I just thought, I don't know, I'm going to put the oxygen in. I am so glad I did, because when finally they decided what was happening, they told us to get off our bus, and if we wanted to go to Newport, walk up the hill past the tree that had come down and get on the bus the other side of the obstruction, and that bus was able to turn round and take us to Newport. But as you heard me say, it was up a hill, and everybody else had gone and got on the bus, and of course slow old granny coming along. I didn't want to keep them waiting, but I knew that I couldn't really rush. I was trying to hurry a bit, and of course going up the steep hill, it set me off coughing again, and it was damp. It was damp as well. And so when I got on so two lovely people, your trolley, I said no, because actually that's what helps me walk. He thought it would be, easy to take that off me. I said, no, that helps me walk. And then two other lovely ladies ended up, and I said, if you could take my arm, one each, and I can lean on the trolley as well. And that's how I got up to the bus. They were really kind and helpful, and the bus driver dropped the bus platform right down, so I could get up on the bus. Once I was on the bus, I then decided I better put the oxygen on because I was coughing a lot by this time. And so, but of course, the new tube for that oxygen bottle, it was a brand new one, and it was wrapped up in its plastic, and it was in the bottom of the trolley. Because I hadn't anticipated having to use it, I hadn't put it on the top of the trolley. I'd put my other things on top of it, so I had to start turning stuff out on the bus. Shenanigans. Switch the oxygen on because I didn't seem to be able to turn the on knob. She helped me, and by the time I'd had the oxygen on, not very long, just a few minutes even, it had calmed down and I was fine. But I know some of you saw me with the oxygen on because I live streamed from the buses. Well, what else was a girl to do? I did have some knitting with me, but it seemed more like a live stream time than a knitting time, so that's what I did. Right, so not being able to breathe is terrible. It is. Have you heard about the new circus in Newport? No, I haven't. So there's another Facebook user who's come in and says, how am I keeping? And I don't know who that is. And that's, Ailey. Ailey's talking about the oxygen. Right, okay, Ailey. So I hope you're all right now. So Ailey is commenting on oxygen levels. Thank you, Tracy. That's kind. So I think I've caught up with the comments, have I? I think I've caught up with all the comments. So while I was live streaming to you, from the bus, my brother was calling me because he needed to know what was going on and where I was, because he hadn't got time to sit and wait hours and hours for me to suddenly appear. He had things to do. He had to go and visit his father-in-law's in hospital. He had to go and get something from the father-in-law's house, and then get his wife to visit her dad in the hospital. Lots of running around things he had to do today. But we kept in touch by mobile phone. And so when he rang, I had to cut off the live stream because I needed to know. Anyway, we ended up both arriving at the bus station about the same time. So he didn't have to wait long for me. I didn't have to stand in the cold and wait for him. And he whizzed me up to Cowbourne Mill. And then I went in there. I felt that when I got there, somebody was doing a speech, and so I sort of just crept in, and somebody could see that I was on the oxygen, so went and got me a chair, which was lovely. And then the speech finished, and I'd missed all the good bits that I would normally live stream, the information about what was going on at the mill. There's some good things happening. The mill itself, the wheel that mills the flour has broken. This is a working mill, a very old working mill, and they are trying to crowdfund for the mill to be repaired. So I will be sort of pushing stuff out about that. But of course, I wasn't there to hear the talk. And then there was somebody, her afterwards, and said, I wanted to get in touch with her. It's about the future of the island and all the things that we should be doing. And then there was people from Portsmouth University who've been doing things over at the mill as well. And I wanted to know all these things, but of course I'd missed all the talks, and I would be the one who would live stream them, and I wasn't there, and nobody else videoed it. They took pictures, but the pictures don't talk. So anyway, not to worry, I'll catch up with it. Right, Bertie, will you sit still, please? I need to behave, do I? What have I done? Jan Jones is asking how you're keeping. Right. It's Jan. Right on there, lovely. I am. I'm apart from today when I had to go back on the oxygen because I went up a steep hill in the damp and the cold. But apart from that, I am fine. I've had a wonderful 3 months. I've had a reasonably quiet 3 months, but a very productive 3 months. I have tidied up some of my flat, and I've done it a little bit at a time, baby steps, because I had a lot of stuff to sort. I've had stuff go out to the charity shops. I've got Aspire coming on one day next week to collect a unit. I have been trying to get rid of it's a roll top filing cabinet. It owes me nothing because it was given to me years ago. It was great when I was running a business. It's a huge filing cabinet. It sort of sits about that high, and that it's got a roll top down and lots of those hanging files, But I have no use for it anymore, and I don't want it in my craft room, the middle room, which I'm trying to make into a decent area. It's a junk room at the moment. It's got stuff piled all up, but not as much now. So they are coming to take that away. Once that unit goes out, I can start organising this end of that craft room and get it all onto shelves. Yes, Bertie does want to show off. He's like most of the Ailey's had. So is that Ailey who's had COPD stage 3 and heart failure, breathing in? So now, yes, so it is. That's you, Ailey, talking about there. And you've been doing a lot of knitting, visiting in Gordon tomorrow, right up to the end of October. Excellent. I haven't done a lot of knitting. I've got a couple of projects I really do need to finish, and I'm trying to finish those off. But I've really got into the paper crafting, and I put some cards up online, and I've been selling them, and that money is going to go to charity. A little bit lessly keep buying card. I have had one of the community buy some card, which is wonderful if she wants permission to do that. So somebody has bought some card for me to make more cards with. So then I'm making some cards that are being sold, and whatever the need is, there's so many needs. I did a ball with my paper craft. Trouble is, it makes so much mess because you cut out the bits and then all the little bits fall on the floor. And I did put up a picture of my waste of my card. I don't like much waste. I tried cutting out all the shapes for the cards, so I cut as economically as possible. But then somebody locally, someone I know who runs a Beavers camp, Beavers organisation, runs a Beavers. What do you call them? Troop? Whatever. Anyway, a group, a Beavers group. So I've got all my bits that I'm being as economic for my own use, and then all the extra bits are going in her box. But sometimes so they could go. One is, and I couldn't see them. Dodgy. So during these 3 months, I have been watching so many craft shows. Crafters Companion, which is the company I like the best, they do 3 shows a day. And so they do 11 till 1, 2 till 4, and 6 till 8. And I've been watching them do so many shows. I can't, I have bought bits to do some with, but I can't buy too many bits. And when I do buy them, I buy them when they're on a bargain deal, and they've had some fantastic deals. So I have done things like this. Do you like my little perfume bottle? It's a shaker card. Can you see? it's got, I don't know if you can see. These bits at the bottom are between acetate. The front and the back's got acetate. And so this is my little perfume bottle. Now, somebody's asked me for a card for somebody who likes fashion. And I thought, well, fashion and perfume and makeup, maybe I could use that. Jane's said, my meals in my air fryer look yummy. I have learnt to make meals and to do meals in no more than about 20 minutes, Jane, because I didn't want to stand up over in the kitchen area. You know, I found things that were doing, you know, that I could do quickly. Facebook, I've seen your wonderful cards and boxes you've been making. Wonderful work, Lynn. You know, it's so therapeutic. And you know, if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter because it's a bit of card or a bit of paper. So anyway, as I say, this one is going on a card. And then I look at this beautiful die I got in a magazine. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's a die that cuts out the paper shapes. But look, it's a really fascinating butterfly. I'm looking forward to having a go with that one. But I'm just loving the potential of all the things that you can make out of, you know, just bits of paper and card. It is a fascinating perfume bottle, isn't it? I like that. So I've been taking inspiration from Crafter's Companion, from the shows. I've been taking inspiration from YouTube. I found a girl on YouTube who's called, I think her name's Louise. She's called Iced Images, her business. And she's done some amazing things. And she's a really good teacher. Some of them are really good and very slow. I don't mean slow, but I mean slow enough for you to follow. And some amazing creations there. Very fascinating. Right. Okay. Amazing craft, Lynn. Busy craft bee. I am a busy bee, aren't I? So I just, and the thing is, I do what I want when I want. Yes, I've been a busy bee, but I've also spent time just sitting, doing very little. You know, hang on a minute. I've got a message coming in. Let's see who's on the message. Right, hang on. I'm just going to send a message. Somebody from Australia. Right. Hazel's just sent me a message. Just a minute. Hang on. Right. So Hazel from Australia, I sent her a message to say that we were going live because I didn't know whether she'd seen any of the things. And of course, in Australia, their hours are very different, aren't they? And she's put, it's great to hear from you. I'm fine, looking forward to catching up with you in July because she's coming to the UK and we're going to meet up, which will be wonderful. But she's just woken up to find the first message, so she'll go and see if she can watch on the replay. So I've just said, I sent her a message saying we're actually still live. We're not on the replay, we're still live. So that's good. So anyway, this is a freebie. I subscribe to Craft World, which is another crafting company. But I've been cutting back my expenses, you know, because we're all having to do that, aren't we? And I was thinking, do I still want to belong or don't I? And then they changed the way they do things. And then they've got a VIP club that you have to pay now $9.99 for the year. They changed what was going on. And you have to pay $9.99. And I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to pay $9.99 for the year. I don't know. Am I getting anything out of it? And I sort of put it on hold. And then I got an email saying that I could join the VIP club for $4.99, but I had to do it by today. And I weighed it up, and there was a discount, and there were some good things. And one of the good things is that with this subscription, you get a free magazine. You get a choice of a free magazine. Well, I decided that the magazine. So the magazines are from $9.99 to $14.99. If I bought a $14.99, if I chose a $14.99 one, and I only choose what I like, I don't choose a $14.99 one if I find a magazine, a $9.99 magazine that's got a better collection in it. But it was actually basically, I might buy that magazine anyway. So it was actually basically covering the cost of the subscription to Craftworld. So I decided to pay the $4.99 and, you know, move, be in the VIP club from now. But they send you every month. They send you a thing to choose your free magazine, and there's all sorts of different papercraft magazines and knitting magazines, and that there's a whole choice that you can choose. One of which you can choose, and usually it comes to me around the 20 something of the month, and then I make the choice, and then 2 or 3 couple of weeks later the magazine arrives. Well, I did that for the February selection, but it hadn't arrived. I knew I was a bit late doing it, but it hadn't arrived, and I just was a bit peeved that it hadn't arrived. So I looked and I tried to. So the March one came, and it said make your selection. When I went to make my selection, it had nowhere to sort of put your little dot or your little tick saying that's what you wanted. And at the top it said, you've already made your March selection. And I thought, no, I haven't. Anyway, I realised what had happened. Because I was late doing my February one, it thought that was my March selection. And they don't send the March selection out till 2 weeks into April. So I'd gone the whole of March without my lovely magazine. And these magazines are really worth the deal because, you know, some people say, $9.99 or $14.99 is expensive for a magazine. It is just for a magazine. But if you've got a collection, and some of them have dies and papers and excuse me just a sec, I have a glass of water down here. So some of those magazines have a whole collection of dies and papers and stencils and bits and pieces. It might be something that I might want anyway, but doing it this way, it's more affordable for me. So that one. So this one I'm looking forward to doing. Beautiful Butterfly. This is Chloe's Creative. All right. And then I should get the next one very soon. The one that I ordered before should come very soon. So that's you know, that's something that I wanted to show you. I will bring more things to the table and more cards and things. Some of the most interesting cards, the nicest looking things, are actually sometimes the simplest things to make. My daughter's card and my granddaughter's card were both pull-out cards. For my granddaughter, it was like a concertina card, and it had the words "Happy Birthday" in it. The letters flipped and it was quite big. My daughter's card looked like a St. Patrick's Day card because it was green. I did all green hearts because she loves green. But it wasn't supposed to be. I mean, it was after St. Patrick's Day. It wasn't supposed to look like St. Patrick's Day. Hang on, I've lost the page where your comments are. Right, there we go. So somebody's come in as a Facebook user saying hello. I wonder if that's Hazel. Is that you, Hazel, coming in on the Facebook group? So if you're in the Facebook group, don't forget to put your name on there as you make your comments, or go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give permission for your name to be put out there. Otherwise, I can't see who you are. It just says Facebook user. Your two Yorkshire Terriers have their ears up. They recognise my voice. Good morning, everyone. What a lovely surprise. Oh, that must be Hazel coming in. Good morning, because she's saying good morning. And of course, it's not morning here, but it is morning in Australia. So hello, Hazel. Finley's saying the connection's not good. Sorry. Have you ever made the box within a box, etc., that have a chocolate attached? I've got lots of patterns for boxes within boxes and the exploding boxes. I've got so many things, ideas or freebies, or sometimes I've bought a die or something. I have got so much I want to execute, you know, and there's just some amazing things out there. So I will bring some more to the table, Andrew, and let you see. what I've been doing. I don't know if any of you saw I did an artist's palette. It's funny because I'd had that artist's palette die for a long time. It was a bargain buy. It came in a bundle, a Crafter's Companion bundle, and they do some amazing deals and amazing bundles. And I bought it with a lot of crafty stamps and dies. So, to make cards for crafty people. And I'd never used that one. And then I had a request. Could I make a Mother's Day card? Well, I needed to make 3 Mother's Day cards. It was a mum, a grandma, and an auntie, I think, or something like that. And I had a request to make 3 of them. And I said, well, what do the people like? Because I obviously like to try and match the card to what the people like, the sort of things they like. Hence why I'm doing a perfume bottle for somebody. I'm going to do. I've got some dies that cut out shoes, and I've got the most amazing ideas for shoe cards. Pinterest is a wonderful place. I spent hours down the Pinterest rabbit hole looking for inspiration, and I found so much. This was actually one that was Crafter's Companion. It was the die itself, the cutout bit, was Crafter's Companion, and then they have put lots of tutorials on YouTube to do different things. Miss you, hope you're feeling better now. I certainly am. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so I mean, there's so much coming out. There's so many things I want to do. And the shoe ones, we have a charity on the island called To Walk in Her Shoes. And we have a chap called Peter May, and he goes around the island in high heels, raising funds, sometimes on a treadmill, sometimes walking miles and miles, raising funds for our WOW charity. And our WOW charity, I'm not quite sure whether it's initials that start for something, but our WOW charity supports women who've been abused, been in abusive relationships. And so therefore, to walk in their shoes is obviously, it's a play on words. So he's using high heels, for that. And how he does it, I don't know, but some of them are pretty high. He's even had the Mayor of Ryde doing it as well. Anyway, because I have these wonderful dies that are shoe shaped, so I've got a big high heel shoe shape that you can actually make a card that shape, or you could cut it out and put it on flat on a piece of card, on a card blank. I've got some little shoes and things, and I thought that I would make some cards that can be sold for the WOW charity because of the shoe connection. Oh, Hazel's back on YouTube. Hello, Hazel. No, the website is not working. We're ignoring the website at the moment. It's a project to be sorted, but not yet. It was better to get online here on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll worry about about the website afterwards, because to maintain websites, you've got to have time and passion to do it. And Tristan, of course, is my website chat, and he's pretty busy. And then we're rethinking it. He and I are having discussions and rethinking it. So don't worry about the website at the moment. You'll find me here on YouTube and Facebook. That's where I should be going forward. So what was I? Yes. So I want to make some of these amazing shoe cards, so that can tie in with the charity, and To Walk in Her Shoes. I have so many ideas for different things, because the potential is massive, and yet the expense of making the cards. I get the stuff when it's on mega bargains. Crafter's Companion do some amazing bargain. And let me talk to you folks, how many of you use top hang on, let me just get this site up, because I want to give you a link. Whoops. Right, let me get the link, because towards the end of February, my son Tristan sent me a link. Hang on, I'm just going to get my link to the same thing. And he sent me a link. Now, I've always avoided cashback sites. because I've seen them where they want you to pay something. Right, I'm going to put this link up now, and then I'm going to talk about it. Not all of you, I think the people in the Facebook group won't get this link. For some reason, it's not posting. It can't post to that. Anyway, so there's my link to the Top Cash. What is it? Top Cashback site. That's right. So I've only ever seen where they wanted you to pay something in order to get cash back. And I don't believe... right, so somebody's just come on Facebook, not quite sure who that was. You started following me back when the carnival lorry was in my garden. Then how long ago was that? I think that was 2018. Tracy, can you remember? The Crafty Beggars. Hello, lovely to have me back. Thank you. So I think that was 2018 that the carnival was in my garden. The lorry was in my garden. Can't get a lorry in my garden now because I filled it all with flower. I've made it into a container garden. So there's flower pots all over there. So there's no parking on there anymore. But anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so Top Cashback. Let's go back there. So Tristan told me about this. He said, do you want to earn some cash back? I said, well, tell me about it. If it doesn't cost me anything, let's see. So he gave me a link and I could sign up to the Top Cashback site. And it is called Top Cashback site. And it's the top one, apparently. It's, I think it's Which recommended. Anyway, so basically, I would have £10 added to my account if I signed up, and he would get some money added to his account, more than 10, but he would get some money to his account if I signed up too. You have to have a process of it's not instant. It has to go over several weeks before the money comes in. But bearing in mind this was at the beginning, no, it was towards the end of February. We're now at the end of March, and I have not bought anything I wouldn't have bought. So I've done my shopping. I might have shifted the way I did it. Like I wanted to buy something that I might have bought on Amazon, because Amazon doesn't give much in the way of cash back. I bought it in another shop in Ryde, and I did click and collect. So I ordered it on the internet and then went and collected it, and I got cash back on it. And I was going into town anyway. So I got cash back on it, but I wouldn't have got that on if I'd have bought it from Amazon. Yes, it had been delivered to the door, but over a month. So wait a minute, February? Yes, just over a month. I have got £42 sitting on that account just by being a savvy shopper. And I got £2 initially put straight onto the account. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. I got in. Hello, Yvonne. There she is. And Tracy's saying, please don't mention the carnival float. And I will tell you why that is. Tracy worked her socks off on that carnival. She was amazing, and she was actually my hero on that, because she did so much of the decorating of that lorry. I didn't climb onto lorries, so I was looking out watching her. Having said that, I did do a lot of getting stuff ready for the carnival, but maybe not so much decorating the lorry. And Tracy, she's still talking to me, so it couldn't have been that bad. Right, let's have a look. And so, yes, so what was I saying? Talking about the lorry, but what else was I talking about? Oh, the Top Cashback site. So, folks, you just have to be a savvy shopper, and all the supermarkets are on there. So why wouldn't you buy why wouldn't you go through the Top Cashback site? If you're doing online shopping, why not go through the Top Cashback site and then get through to Tesco's or Asda or whoever it is? Go through the Top Cashback site, and then you get cash back on these things. Well, I've been trying to save as much money as I can, because obviously, it's getting a bit scary out there. And I've not shopped online in Sainsbury's, and I was thinking that they were quite expensive. But because I was on the cashback site and it said for new users to Sainsbury's, you would get a £12 cashback on your first order. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a look, but they're probably going to be more expensive than Tesco's and the others in the long run. So I probably won't buy that way. So I didn't go on there just to get the £12, because if the stuff was more expensive, it wouldn't be sensible, would it? Anyway, they do Aldi matches. They were matching prices in Aldi, and some of the things I buy were so much better from there. So I bought from Sainsbury's. And in fact, I had tabs open on my computer because, hang on, what's happened? Oh, Bertie's fallen down. Because I've got time on my hands, and I understand why busy people might not be able to do this. But because I'm a retiree, I've got time on my hands. I had tabs open for each of the supermarkets, and I was going into each supermarket to see where I could get the best deals. And I shopped between this last time. I shopped between Sainsbury's and Iceland, I think it was. This week, so this is a month on. Sorry, that was last month. So I tend to do my online food shop when my pension comes in, and do a big shop and then fill up the cupboards and the freezer and all that. So I did it. So this time I did Asda and Iceland. So it's about playing around, and I needed to buy a new microwave. I didn't really want to buy a microwave. I didn't want to spend out that sort of money. But my microwave, which I had been given in the past, so it owed me nothing, but all the paint was starting to peel, and I didn't think it was very healthy. So I thought, right, let's see if I can find a really cheap microwave that will do. I don't want a lot. Somebody said my meals look yummy. It's amazing what you can do in a microwave, in an air fryer, with a microwave backup. I've had my oven on once in months and months and months and months and months. And I only put the oven on then because I made some banana bread, because my bananas were going off and I had to weigh up. Do I want to put the oven on? Do I want to waste the bananas? What I did was I made 2 banana loaves. If I was going to put the oven on, I made 2 banana loaves. I cut them up. I put them in bits, pieces, slices in the freezer, and then just take them out one at a time. So I found that was really good. Yeah, so that's, that was one way. One thing I've also started to do, you've got your 66p on your Top Cash back. So have you been on Top Cash back for ages, Andrew, or have you just signed up? Hello, Karen. Nice to see you. Hello, Andrea. Nice to see you there. And that's it. Lovely. So Andrew's got 66p on his Top Cash back. Right. Okay. So how long have you been on then? Right, okay. Ailey's come there. Her name's there now because Andrew's helped her on the YouTube link. Thank you, Andrew. Technical support tonight is Andrew. Excellent. Thank you. Yes. So one of the things I've done, because in my freezer, I hate having to fiddle about in the freezer and then find a huge bag of peas. And then all this time you're getting cold and you've got the freezer door open and that. So what I've started doing is putting them into portions. I know it means I've got to use more plastic bags to do it, but I use the bags rather than the boxes because it fits in better. So what I've started doing is doing individual portions of vegetables in the freezer. It makes everything fit in much better, and it works well for me because I just have the door open for a few seconds, grab something out, one portion out, and that's it. So that's pleased me. That's something I enjoyed. It's the little things. Anyway, been on for ages but not used it in years. All right, Andrew. Yes. Well, do use it. No, Karen, I did not make my scarf. Jane Ireland made it for me, and she made one for Yvonne. And I've had so much admiration for this scarf. And it's kept me nice and warm through my illness, because I wear it indoors as well. So yeah. Right. So back to the cashback. So I can't believe it. I've been searching for hummingbirds, would you believe? Because the hummingbird is the logo of the Top Cashback site. And at the moment, there's a competition on. And if you go, they're just encouraging you to go on the different pages for the for the different, there's 4,500 retailers on there. So, you know, the range, Boots, businesses I've never heard of. So there's all these businesses. And in fact, I had to get a new, I didn't want to buy a new hairdryer either. But mine's got to the stage where I'm a bit dubious about it and think that it's probably safer to get a new one. So I was talking to my hairdresser the other day and she said, oh, you want a hot brush, a hot styling brush rather than a hairdryer. She said, you know, it would be better and you haven't got to hold a brush and a hairdryer. So I thought, right, okay, let's see how savvy I can be here. So I, rather than buy on Amazon, which is what I would have done a couple of months ago, I'd have found something on Amazon and had it there. But I didn't. I have a Boots card, a Boots Advantage card that collects points, and points mean prizes, as you know. And so I had the Boots card, and I also had a Top Cashback card. So I found what I wanted on Boots, and checked it with my hairdresser, and she said that was fine. And it was £13 something. But I had also, I really don't, I think I found it now. I got dry lips and I had a lip balm the other day and it was in my bathroom and I used it and then it totally disappeared. And my lips were still sore and I had no lip balm. So because with Boots, it's if you pay if you have a shopping order for £15, it's free click and collect. Now I didn't think, oh, I must buy something there to fill it up, but because I had lost my lip balm, I put on a lip balm and it took me to £15, so I got free click and collect, Advantage points and Top Cashback points, so it all adds up. Ailey's had a Tesco's hairdryer for £10. It's the longest hairdryer I've ever had. Touch wood, yes. But my hairdryer is very old. It was like the microwave. You know, it's time to get rid of the next thing I've got to replace. So in the last couple of years, I've had a new washing machine. My kids lent me the money for that, and then I paid them back. I was lucky enough to get a fridge donated through one of the organisations that have grants and help you. So I have new freezer because, again, an inefficient fridge costs you more money. So I was told by the people on the island who advise on these things. So, and they had a grant, and I ticked the right boxes to have a fridge freezer. So I was very lucky there. And so now it's coming to the other things to replace. I need a new vacuum cleaner, but the one I've got, it's one of those bagless cylinder one, not cylinder. It's an upright one with a thing on the front, but the plastic's broken. And it's sort of, I don't want to replace it, but I'm going to have to soon because the thing that holds the dust keeps falling off, because part of the plastic is broken. So there's no way I could afford it this month. So, it was a cheap one, but it's done me some good service. But I'm going to have to replace it. So again, I'm watching out for the bargains and seeing what's out there, but I can't buy yet because I had to buy the microwave and the hairdryer. So you use easy fundraising and businesses give you free money after you shop with a retailer. May only be pennies, but it does all add up, Andrew. On the day that I signed up with Top Cashback, which Tristan told me about, and I knew if he was doing it, it must be fine. But the other things that I'd seen with cashback, they wanted you to pay first and then get cashback. No, I'm not going to pay anything to get cashback. That's it. So anyway, it was just before Shrove Tuesday, and they had a promotion on that if you bought your your Shrove Tuesday goodies, you know, your pancake making stuff, and you scan the bill, the receipt to them, you could get £2. Well, Tristan was doing some baking, but he was doing more than enough. He was doing quite a lot. What he did was very savvy. He split his bill in two. So he had £2 on his, and then he sent me the copy of the receipt for the second one. So I got £2 as well. So that was really, you know, it's just working the system and being very savvy. So that's what we did. With these hummingbirds and these competitions, sometimes if you're on a website, you have to go on different websites, and if a hummingbird comes across, you have to click on it, and then it might give you a prize, or it might give you something towards a prize, or it might give you a few pennies. I think I earned 20 pence on catching a hummingbird once, but 20 pence is 20 pence, you know. And some of them are really generous. Some of them are very good. And also, what I have found too, Crafters Companion is a top back cashback site. Now that's where I get lots of my craft things, but I only buy the craft things when they're on really good deals. And then Crafters Companion really look after their loyal customers. They are, you know, their customer service is brilliant. So they keep sending us vouchers out to spend. They're making their money elsewhere around the world, but looking after the very loyal customers. So I get some really good deals. There's one up here now, but it's £10 off if you spend 50, but I'm not in the league of spending 50, so that one probably won't happen anytime soon. But I found out that they're top cashback site. So I thought, I wonder if I will get cashback on top of the fantastic deals I'm already getting. And guess what? I am. there was 2 occasions when it declined the cashback, but you know, a 50p here and a 50p there and a £1 here and a £1 there. In a month, I've only been on that cashback site a month, and my account is standing at £42 something, of which 6 of it has now cleared. So I could claim, you know, 6 of it. So it takes it's not instant money coming in. It takes several weeks. Some of the merchants say, well, it's going to be 8 weeks before we pay you. It doesn't matter, because it's all happening down the line, and all those bits add up. Some people, when I was sort of chatting online to people about it, some people have had their Christmases paid for by the top cashback site. So let me give you the link again. So if any of you want to go and join the top cashback site, this is the link. If you're in a group, you can't get that link. It's not adding it. Whew, I'm hot. Let's take this off. It's beautiful, but I'm going to take it off because I'm hot. I've got so many layers on here to make sure I don't get chilled. So let's have a look at the comments. Right, yeah. So if you go through my link, you will get, and you sign up, you will get £10 put onto your account. It will be sometime before you can claim that £10. But Yvonne suggested you should ask for help with knitting for your support centre charity shop for the boats coming in. Do you remember? Excellent. How do you get your money paid back to you? You can claim it. You can claim it once. What happens, there's a table there, and it will say that it's pending. All right. But for example, when I caught the hummingbird, that was instant money. It was only 20p, but it was instant money. So it's showing in green. I can't claim just 20p. I think I have to get to £10 before I can claim it. But I've got £40 on the system that eventually all that £40 will clear, and I will be able to claim that. So there are certain things where you get the cash back straight away. For example, when I scanned in the receipt for the Shrove Tuesday stuff, it put the £2 on my account straight away. Crafters Companion, the first order I did right at the beginning, that one's just cleared now. I think they have so many days. I mean, some of the merchants will make you wait longer than other merchants, but you know, this is how the affiliate marketing works. And you know, it depends. But you know, if so, if you you know, buy something now and you get the reward in 6 weeks' time, that's still good, isn't it? So I like it. You know, I'm loving it. So £40 for just being a bit of a savvy shopper. And actually, I'm enjoying playing around on the websites anyway and seeing what's out there and whatever. I mean, Amazon are losing out now because if I can get it, like, for example, actually, with the microwave, I wasn't quite as savvy as I could have been, because on Asda, if you spend £48, you get a £3 cashback. Now, if you're going to do a £48 shop, why wouldn't you put it somewhere where you can have like a £3 cashback? To me, that's another meal, isn't it? And so I didn't want to buy. To be honest, I didn't want to buy a microwave, but because the other one was, you know, the paint was all peeling, I thought I needed to. Oh, I put it here, Tracy. Let me put it again. Oh, Tracy, are you in the group? Are you in the? Are you coming in from the Go Live Granny group? Because it won't post to the group. I can post it to you separately. I'll give it to you separately. Wait a minute. Let's. Hang on. Let's just. Sorry, folks. Just talk amongst yourselves while I just send Tracy the link. Because for some reason it won't let me do it into the group. There's different rules and that's how it goes. So there we go. Right. And you know, there, as I say, there are 4,500 shops, retailers. You can get insurance there. You can get you can buy your holiday travel. You can buy insurance through the Top Cashback site. Just go and have a look. Your mind will be boggled like mine was. And I can't believe that I didn't know about this all those years ago. Some people were saying that through the year, you know, by doing their own, these were people who were, you know, talking about Top Cashback, so that their year's money and cashback paid for their Christmas shopping, you know. And it's the new way of marketing. Why go and do market? The best marketing ever is by people recommending your goods, actual people, rather than putting an advert in a paper saying we are the best, this is it. People, you know, and I only tend to recommend things that I use. And because I've used Top Cashback for a month and I've got £42 on that account, that's why I'm telling you. Because why wouldn't I tell you? First of all, you can have £10 go straight on your account. I will get £25 for anybody who signs up. But then when you are signed up, you can tell other people and you can get those things as well. Sometimes it pops up to £30 if you recommend somebody. The other thing, if anybody's looking to change their energy supplies, I've got a link for that as well. And Kath will endorse this because she was looking for, I hope she doesn't mind me saying, she was looking for a new supplier. And, you know, you've got to do your homework and you've got to make sure it's a supplier you want. I don't want anybody to buy anything through a link of mine if it's not right for them. But with Octopus Energy, they're doing a lot of advertising at the moment because they have been recommended by Which for the last 6 years. Let's find the Octopus, my Octopus one as well. Let's have a look. And again, if you switch to Octopus, and as I say, they are Which recommended for 6 years. So, you know, they're not making that up. You can check that out. That's right. Hang on, let me just sign in here. Sorry. And it's just about everybody, helping everybody. We've all got to do whatever we can these days. And I got £50 for you know, getting a new customer for Octopus, but I only did it because I believed in Octopus. I believed in them and I was happy with them. Let's have a look, see if I can find their link. Whoops, hang on. Oh, here we go. And so I got £50, but my customer, the person I was recommending, got £50 as well. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Doesn't make any sense not to. So let me give you again. It's not right for everybody, and I wouldn't want anybody to sign up through my link unless it was right for them. My son was talking about it, and for him, he's on some sort of green, you know, I mean, I don't know. There was a reason. It was something else that for some reason it wasn't right. I wouldn't want him to sign up through that link unless it's absolutely perfect for him. Yes, Tracy, I did hear that NatWest are closing in Ryde, and somebody told me that HSBC is closing too. Did I miss anything? So did you get the link, Tracy? I sent it to you, so I hope you got that. Let's have a look. Oh, fantastic. Richard's just sent me a link that the Better Days Cafe in Ventnor has just won a Community Champion of the Year award. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant news. It's really good. So let's hang on. Wait a minute. Let's close some of these things down. And Hazel, if you're still watching, that link to the top cashback side is now starting in Australia as well. They're just about to launch in Australia. So you can pick the link up or let me know if you want it. So as I say, why didn't I know about it before? Why have all these years gone by when I didn't know how good it was? And Andrew, you missed a trick there, because if you'd have known about it a long time ago, you would have told me, you know, if you'd have been using it, but perhaps you hadn't seen them, you know, we don't always see the benefits straight away, do we? And sometimes things change and benefits change. So perhaps years ago it wasn't so good. I'm sure it's much better now because they've got such a choice. So let me tell you, the range is on there, the works is on there. You know, I like to get stuff in the works. Right, let's have a look. So, and the thing is, if somebody signs up on your top cashback, you can see when they've signed up, and then you can see when they started on their spending journey, and it tells you. I've had a lot of people sign up just randomly from Facebook, but perhaps it's not right for them because they haven't then progressed, and that's the nature of the beast. It doesn't matter, you know. I want to help people who need, you know, who want something that, you know, that works. Facebook user, yes, excellent news. Read Better Days Cafe. Is that you, Richard, there? It might be. Octopus were giving customers free large pink Octopus plush toys, just like the logo. Oh, were they? But anyway, as I say, if you go with Octopus, it's a £50, you know, and who wouldn't want £50 off the energy bill just now? I've just seen my £50 go on my account, which is brilliant. You know, which is quite good, bearing in mind we've just coming out of the heavier months. I of course was on oxygen, and so that was bumping up the electricity, but I will get a rebate for that. I didn't realize that straight away, but you know, if you're on oxygen machine, you get a rebate for the electricity. So I need to you know, check up on that one. So that's good. Ailey's doing key rings or anything knitted blue and white for Scotland. She's doing some fundraising up there. Oh, it looks like Yvonne's going to send us some bits. I did try knitting a heart-shaped key ring, but it didn't work out for me. Oh dear, never mind. Not everything always works out. Can you please just say to anyone, the circus that's in Sea Close at the moment, if anyone was looking to go, your daughter's been this evening and she said it was fantastic. Thank you for that endorsement. Shame there's not a link to you to get a benefit from it. But you see, This is how the best marketing works. You recommend what you've enjoyed, so that's why this affiliate marketing works, because I know it works because I'm proving it. And so I'm happy to share it because it works, but I can see that busy people who are, running busy lives and running around after their children as taxi service and all that would not have the same time that I have. I can play around, but they could still do their shopping online each time they do a shop, and that would bump up my daughter's going to look at it. She was really busy, but I think term ended today, and she's going to have a look at it after today, because I'm sure, with her big family, she could actually get quite a lot of cash back on the amount she spends in the supermarket. Yvonne's just had £200 back for her oxygen for 3 months. Right. Well, I just have to check, Yvonne, because I read the meter when they took my oxygen machine away, but I haven't sent it in. So I've got it recorded, but they might just read the machine and pay me, or they might not. So I meant to ring them today. So I will ring them on Monday and see what the score is. So that was good news, because when I was on oxygen, yes, it was running away with the electricity. And then Yvonne said to me, "Oh, you'll get a," and then I got something to the post saying you will get you'll get a rebate for that. So that was good. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I've been quite a long time on here, but it's so nice to be on here and be chatting with you, because I've missed you like you've missed me, but I wasn't up to broadcasting, and I wasn't even going to broadcast tonight. It was only because of the shenanigans on the bus, and I thought, why don't I do a live stream from the bus? And then, of course, I did 3 live streams from the bus, because my brother was ringing me, so I had to cut off each live stream because he was trying to work out where I was to give me the lift. I needed to answer him, so I had to cut off the live stream. So I live streamed 3 different live streams this afternoon. So I thought, why don't I do one? Why don't I get back on the evening one? So I'm doing tonight. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to do too many. I don't want to rush into anything too fast. So I'll have a little think about when the next one is. Watch on the socials, and you'll see when I'll schedule the next ones. So have a look there. I might do some daytime ones. I want to do some when I'm crafting. I want to show you some of the craft stuff I'm doing while I'm doing it. I have sent a message in. They have on Crafters Companion, they have a show called Craft Along. They have all different shows, and one of them is a Craft Along, where they make a project from start to finish over 2 hours. Occasionally over 3, but usually over 2. And they have a member of the crafting community, someone lost it. Oh, sorry, we lost the signal there. And they invite us to put ourselves forward to craft along us there. Then why would? And the other thing, through the Top Cashback site, I had I went on Holland and Barrett site, and they are doing so, sorry, we're losing this. Put myself forward for market research with Holland and Barrett. So I'm questions for an hour, I'm quite sure, and then I get rewarded for it. So I think that's an Amazon voucher. I'm not sure. I think so. Anyway, Ailey saying such a great time tonight, and don't think you coughed once. I have coughed a couple of times, but I actually, bearing in mind how I was this afternoon when I walked up that steep hill and decided I had to put the oxygen back on, the oxygen settled me down ever so quickly, and it wasn't long before, I think when I got to, no, I kept the oxygen on while I was at Cowbourne Mill, and then I took it off later. That's right. Well, we need to do something. You were saying the other day you have one less child at home now due to her going to uni. So you would think my food bill would have gone down, but it's the opposite. I'm spending more now, and there's one less of us. Well, the other thing is Tracy, I, I bought my air fryer, and I've now got the new microwave, and people are saying my meals look lovely. I am taking no more than 20 minutes to do any of my meals. I mean, I was lucky enough to have one of the community send me some meals that went in the cupboard. That was wonderful because they took only seconds in the microwave. So if you think about meals that can be done, not only reducing the food costs, but actually reducing the costs of the energy, so my bacon, my breakfast that you see, I do bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes, hash browns. And by the way, the English Breakfast Society don't like hash browns. They say that's not part of an English breakfast because it's American. It's part of my breakfast, and I don't care what they say. I like my hash browns. I was doing my egg in the air fryer as well, but I didn't quite like the way it came out, so I actually fry my egg on the hob. But if you think of reducing the costs like that, and I didn't go out and buy a £200 air fryer. I bought a £45 air fryer, because I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have this and that. And then I thought, well, I haven't got that money anyway. And the whole idea is to be saving money. So I bought a £45 air fryer, and I'm really pleased. And those breakfasts take me 10 minutes. Just pop it all in, pop it on. Mine's it's a round one. It's a Tower one. It's from the Tower Company. And I think that, Richard, is that you as a Facebook user? Yes, he's saying Parsley Box is a Scottish company, and it was Richard who was very kind and generous with those meals. I didn't know who it was first of all, and then yes, so that was amazing, and when I was getting better and not having to want to stand and prepare meals, taking one out of the cupboard, because they store in the cupboard, not the freezer, and just spending a minute or 50 seconds, some of them, it was amazing. And of course, very low costs on actually heating your meal. So that was really good. So Parsley Box Company, very good. You got rid of your main oven 18 months ago. I only use an air fryer and halogen oven, and you do have a table hob. Yeah, I was going to get rid of my oven, Tracy, and then I decided actually leave it there. And I now use it for storing other things in. So I was going to get rid of it, but I thought if ever, we want to sell the flat or anything, then somebody might want an oven there. So I decided not to get rid of it. But I've only used it once, and that was for banana bread the other day, when I had a lot of bananas to use up, and I did two loaves. I wasn't going to do it just for one loaf of banana bread. I put two loaves in. So it was important. Smoothie hats are also good for charity knitting. They absolutely are. Keep knitting. Have you all seen lots of pictures of the smoothie hats in the shops? I wonder, lots of people have been putting them up online. I wonder where ours ended up, because for the main office, they send them off to the mainland because they have to be counted and verified and that, and then they send them out to the supermarkets and the shops that sell the smoothie drinks, and then they put them on. And it was lovely to see people really enjoying the smoothie hats, the end customer, So I haven't started any yet at the moment. Did you? No, Tracy, I haven't spoken to the doctors yet. I'm about to get in touch. I think it's PALS, is the people at the hospital who advise you on what to do. And they also advise you on praising people. And I want to be able to send a letter to the St. Mary's to say about the fantastic care I had. So I need to do that as well. Excuse me. So where are we? Right. Yes. So Tracy, what do you? Have you got a plan to try and reduce your food bill? Join the top cashback site. If you do that, if you've only ever bought from Tesco's online or Iceland online, look at things like Sainsbury's. I did my first Sainsbury's shop. I'd never bought from them. They gave me £12 cashback because I was brand new customer. So several of the supermarkets do that. If you're a brand new customer, they will entice you with a bigger amount. There's Richard's putting up the first link for the bar. I'm tongue-tied. The Parsley Box 5 off first order. I shall have a look at that. Richard, could you put that link in my messenger box? Because if it's on here, it's going to disappear. And then I'll have to go back and try and scroll back and find it. Someone on Ideal Words said we waste 4 months of the year just preheating the oven before we actually cooked any. Yes, and some people say preheat your air fryer. I don't. I just put my food in and switch it on, and 10 minutes. So I used the hob and the microwave and the air fryer, and yes, it's good. So there's so many ways. I think lots of us on here, we can give lots of top tips and help each other. Good meat. Some of the good meals that you do that are economic. And again, buying from somewhere like the Parsley Box, people might say, well, that's a bit more expensive. It might be a bit more expensive maybe than making from fresh, but it's saving on the energy costs because it's not because you're not using. It's literally, I don't think I've done more than 2 minutes on any of those meals that Richard sent me in that box. So there's so many ways, and I think probably some of you have got lots more top tips about things where we can save money. Hazel, I do put all those ingredients in at the same time. They all seem to be done in 10 minutes. Obviously, it depends on what sort of air fryer you've got. You have to try out your air fryer. But I put my bacon, my hash brown, my mushroom, and my tomatoes all in at the same time. And then I just cook the egg on the hob. As I say, I did do the egg in there, but it wasn't quite as nice as an egg done in the pan. So I thought, well, that's only going to be pennies, isn't it? Just using a pan for just long enough to cook an egg, to do an egg. One of the things I do too when I boil my kettle is I don't just fill the kettle up. I fill the cup up. My gran taught me this. I only put as much water in the kettle as I need for a cup of tea. Because if you fill it right up, then you're heating all that water, whereas you might only need that much. And then if you come back for a next cup of tea, you're going to put it on again, aren't you? And you're going to heat it all again. So, I just heat the amount of water I want. So that's a good deal. So Hazel, have you got an air fryer? Or are you thinking of getting one? Tracy's reduced her food bill, but went into the shop the other day, and one item you buy has jumped up 65p in price in a week. Now, is it something that you want and you're going to keep buying, or can you switch and have an alternative? I know that some of them have jumped. I watch a couple on Facebook, and she's Lucy and he's, I've forgotten his name, and the little boy's Vinny, and they go round. He gives her £5, and she goes round the store and she makes an evening meal for both of them for £5. I've forgotten what it's called, and if any of you want the link, I'll have to find it. But they're doing some savvy shopping and keeping the prices down. They've done some other things that are more expensive, but it is. There are ways. I've been so surprised, and I've been absolutely delighted to know about air fryers, and and then I was very suspicious about microwaves at one stage, but they haven't proved that they're bad, have they? You know, because I had one a long time ago and got rid of it because I was suspicious about how good it was for my health. But it was a huge one. And it was an all singing, all dancing one because I bought it when Tristan lived at home. And of course, he was a qualified chef. So I bought the top end, or, you know, as much as I could afford. But I had some money back then. But I gave it away to somebody whose need was greater than mine. And then I, in return, when I decided that microwaves were okay, I saw somebody had a microwave, but she had her own microwave. So she did that. And Inga and Russ went and picked it up for me and dropped it off to me. Now, I'm going to give a big shout out to Johnny Keywood and Rob Keywood of Ace Waste, because they saw my plight. They're a waste company who obviously charge people for taking their waste away, but they saw my plea of, is anybody able to take my old microwave to the tip? And I want it to go to the tip because I don't think it's safe for anybody else to use. And they saw my plight, and he messaged me and he said, oh, we'll come and pick it up, no charge. And I just thought, you know what, he knows that I do lots. This is when you know, there's so many lovely people around, and he didn't charge me. And I suppose because I do lots in the community for other people, he wanted to do something for me. And he and his son have done a lot and donated a lot of food for the food bank. You know, so they're doing good works over there. So there's just a lot of good going on around. There's a lot of not nice things going on around, more so than pre-pandemic. I think people have got sour and bitter, some have, but the people in my circle are lovely. So, you know, I'm enjoying lots of lovely people around me. So let's have a look. Thank you. I've got a link there in Messenger. You have one. You use it all the time. Excellent, Hazel. I've got the round one, and then I did a silly Billy with it. I put something. It was when I was ill, and I was obviously not thinking straight, and I put a plastic dish in it, not a silicon one, and it all melted. And I was devastated because it was all stuck over my the little shallow baskets. And I didn't really want to buy any new, but I had to buy it. I bought a new set. Well, I thought I was buying a new set, and I ended up buying a set that was small baskets instead of the big baskets. So I managed to use them. But I kept looking at this thing and thinking, I'm sure I haven't got to throw that away. I'm sure I can fix it. And this week I did fix it because it got all this orange gunge on it. So I just lit a candle, and I didn't do it all in one go because I wasn't sure about what the fumes, you know, whether that was toxic or what. So I did a little bit, and some of the plastic fell off. So over a period of time, I got rid of all the plastic that was stuck to my basket, and I've got my basket back again. So there we go. Ailey says, do you buy paper trays and bags to put food inside the air fryer? What I do is I have got some paper trays, and Kath also bought me a paper liner. The liner, it worked for a while, but it's given up the ghost now. But it was nice, and thank you, Kath. That was really good. I put a little bit of foil. I have a roll of foil, and I put foil underneath my bacon and that sort of thing, because otherwise you've got to do more washing out of your air fryer. The only thing I find difficult is because mine's round and it's got a lid that comes on top of it. It's nice having it on the side. It's safer for me than using an oven because it's on the side, and I lift the top off and put it on the hob. and it's all at that level, whereas the oven I have to bend, and I'm not very good on my, at doing that sort of thing, and I feel the oven is more dangerous to me, so I lift off the top. But because it's one of those it looks like a spaceship when it lights up, and it looks like it's going to take off because it's round. It's a halogen one, but it calls it an air fryer on the box. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I use foil in it, or I have got, if I'm not, if I wanted to split it up, but because it's round, you've got to have the right shape pans, haven't you? So it's a bit more difficult, but I have got a round, like what you make a pie in, and so I might put some stuff in that sometimes. I tell you what I like tinned potatoes done in the air fryer, because they can come out like roast potatoes, and I don't like to stop and cook a whole roast for myself, but I love roast potatoes, and they were on a mega bargain. Tinned potatoes in Sainsbury's, like I bought about 12 tins of them because they were like very cheap, but they taste nice. So there you go. There's a deal for you, right, guys? Tracy is what are you looking for? Right, guys, is what? Oh, right, guys. Oh, thank you. Tracy's found the people on Facebook that I was talking about. So, Right Guys is their name, okay, and they're a couple who go in the supermarkets and spend a £5 on their challenge. Thank you, Tracy, for that. And she's found them on TikTok, but they are also on Facebook, probably on others as well. But I saw them on Facebook. But they got people being horrible to them the other day. And they're being horrible because that couple are earning their income through what they're doing here. Now, what's wrong with that? If they can go in a supermarket, get everybody watching them and getting the deals and passing on all that information, why shouldn't they benefit from getting an income from what they're doing? He got quite upset because people have been nasty, but my opinion of that is they're not my tribe. Anybody who behaves like that to me is not my tribe, and I'm not interested. If they want to be nasty, go and be nasty somewhere else, because I'm not listening. So, years ago I used to listen. Years ago I was very worried about what people thought. These days, no. If they don't like what I do, what's it got to do with me? I don't, they don't own me. So, go and get a life somewhere else. Yvonne says, when her gran told her when frying eggs, you can turn the heat off when you get it up to temperature as the heat left in the hob. Absolutely, yes, there are things like that where you can do that. Right, Tracy's saying her washing powder and her conditioner. Now, you see, I never use conditioner. I don't use conditioner. I tend to think that you're just putting a nice smell on your clothes. I'm not. Sorry, I lost connection. I've always, to this day, when it's right for you, it's right for you. I'm not saying avoid it if it's something you like. But for me, I always thought it was a waste of money. And these days, the washing powders and things are kind of to the goods, aren't they? Kind of to the clothes. So I stopped using. I did use conditioner once upon a time, but I don't use it anymore. And I get my. Did get my last lot of Persil from one of the supermarkets, but before that I had bought it on Amazon, but not anymore, because I can get cash back on it if I buy it in the supermarkets. You won't change, as your kids have said. Yeah, and I get that. I don't ever change my washing solution, so I actually get liquid Persil at the moment, but the non-biological, because like Tracy, I have sensitive skin. You buy powder one week and conditioner the other, right? Okay. The other thing somebody said that she always does is buy coffee and tea when they're on offer, because those are the sorts of things that we have lots of, and so you might as well buy. It depends. It depends what other expenses you've got at the same time. For example, this month I bought the microwave and and my hairstyler. So that's it. I can't get the vacuum cleaner this month, and maybe I might try and hang on 2 or 3 more months before I have to buy a new vacuum cleaner. But that one I've got here, it was a £50 vacuum cleaner from the Co-op. It serves me incredibly well. Maybe not quite as long as one of the more expensive, but you don't know. So it has served me well, but I'm going to try and make it last a bit longer, even by sticking it. So yeah, any more let's see what else top tips we've got. The paper liners are great. They are Ailey, but I don't want those all to run away, so I use them very sparingly, and I only use them when I need to. Ailey got her air fryer as a Christmas gift. Her friend worked out you save £14 a week cooking with an air fryer, and that's a lot of money in 1 month. It is, absolutely. I mean, going out and buying a £200-300 or £400 air fryer doesn't quite do it. When I was looking at the I thought I'm supposed to be. I'm getting an air fryer to save money and to be more healthy. I'm not going to save money if I spend a huge amount on it, but I do understand. People have different needs, so that's what they need to do. Ian's in apparently. Hi, Ian, says Yvonne, but I can't see. I can't see Ian. So I don't know where he must have come in. Tracy uses personal, non-bio. That's it, same as me. You use conditioner as I use it on the kids' hoodies and tracksuits. They keep the fleecy insides bit. Right, okay. So it's horses for courses. If it works for you, that's what you need to do. It's not up to me what but that's in my world. I felt that I didn't need it, but you must do what's right for you. But on that, then you might be able to find somewhere else where you can do your economy. So don't forget, if anybody needs to change their gas and electric, I did put a link up for that earlier. Octopus Energy. Let's put that out again, because you get £50 off if you switch to them, and they are which recommended for 6 years. I haven't been with them 6 years, but I'm happy with the service I get from them, and that's why I recommend it. I don't recommend things I haven't used, unless occasionally I would. It would be if somebody else I know had recommended it and said it was good, but I would say my friend says this is good. I haven't used it myself, but So anyway, that's the Octopus Energy one. Hello, Ian. Ian's watching with Ailey. That's nice to see. So, it is getting quite late, and I'm getting a bit tired. All that shenanigans earlier in the day, maybe that had something to do with it. But anyway, because of the shenanigans earlier in the day, that's why I decided to start live streaming the sea down. Got stuck as well. If I'd have been on a bus 10 minutes earlier, I would have missed all that shenanigans. Hello, I'm back. I didn't realise my battery was low. I should have done because we've been 2 hours on the phone. But because I originally logged in via the computer and then added this one to the computer, when the battery died, it didn't log me out. I noticed I was still logged in. So we've been on live 2 hours, 1 minute and 28 seconds. You are so lucky. You have so much time with me tonight. I'm making up for lost time. Got 3 months to make up for. Just toasting a hot cross bun in the air fryer while she waits. Bless her, Hazel. That's lovely. So I've been looking at various recipes too. Obviously, you might have seen me make. I did leek and sweet potato soup. That was lovely and very easy, you know. And I buy the frozen leeks, so I haven't even got to cut the leeks up. So I had to cut the potato up, but that done, that was lovely. It had a bit of cumin in it, I think, and some other bits. So that was really nice. Very quick and easy. 10 minutes to make that soup. So that was a nice one. What else are people cooking in their air fryers? I've done. I buy the packs of meat packs. So a pack of chicken pieces and a pack of like little pork medallions and things. And then what I'm doing now is wrapping them individually and putting them in the freezer, so I can just, because if you put the whole pack in, you then can't get one out when you want one. So I decided to just wrap them freezer. I've only got cheap freezer bags, but so it's the convenience without running away with the cost of plastic bags. It's just amazing. I could just go and pop one out very quickly. Yes, so that's what I've been doing. I can smell your hot cross bun, Hazel. Oh, delicious. I do like hot cross buns. I think some of them they've been putting chocolate in. I don't think, although I'm a chocolate lover, I'm not sure. Is the jury out on this one? What do you think? Do you like chocolate in your hot cross buns? Because I'm not sure that it's something that I would like. But you never know. You never know. So folks, I am going to be going in a minute. I can feel my eyelids dropping. I have got to make 3 cards over the weekend. So I've got Yvonne saying, did I get all my spices back in the wrap? Now, when I got my, some of you might have seen this. I had a disaster with my spice rack. And it was only because I was trying to be a bit lazy. That taught me, didn't it? So what happened? Because I was having the new microwave, I obviously I wanted to clean the side down and that. But I decided that I wanted to move the microwave to the other worktop, which meant that I had a spice rack, one of those. It's supposed to screw onto the wall, but it hasn't screwed onto the wall. It was standing up against the wall, and I'd got a tray of bits and pieces in front of it so it didn't fall over. So I thought, when I was moving stuff around, I thought, I can put it against that other bit on the other side. And I tried to carry it with the spices on it. Oh dear, what a silly girl. I got most of the way. When I got to the other worktop, I slipped, and some of the jars, a couple of the jars, their lids came off, and so I had paprika and something else, coriander, I think, all over my worktop. So I picked up all those bottles and put them on the rack, and then cleared up all the mess that had come out the bottles. But that worktop, there's a gap down the other side, and they slid across, and some have gone on the floor. I don't know if they've opened because I couldn't see. I have got to pull out because I've got a lot of stuff in my lounge, and I've got all my crafting stuff. I've got a little table in the corner above the area where these things have fallen, And then next to it, I've got another table where I craft, and I've underneath that, I've got my mum's old TV stand, which actually is got 3 levels on it. So I'm using it like a storage unit. So I have got to pull all those tables out to go in search of my missing spice. I don't even know what's down there. I just know that I heard some go down. So I haven't faced it yet. No, Yvonne. It's maybe it'll be a project. First of all, I've got to finish the cards that I need to make that are an assignment over the weekend. And then I will go in search of missing spice jars. That was not funny. That would teach me for being lazy. I nearly did it. I nearly managed to balance it across, and then it just at the last minute it tipped. So there we go. Traditional hot cross buns for you. Yes, I like the traditional ones, Hazel. 2 minutes in the air fryer. Yummy. That sounds nice. And somebody on Facebook is saying hello, but I don't know who it is. So can you identify yourself, because you're coming in from the Go Live Granny group, and Facebook won't tell me who you are if you're in the group. So if you want to identify yourself, you need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, or put your name in before you make a comment, and then I will know who you are and I can say hello to you. But at the moment I can't, because it just says Facebook user. Hello. So folks, I am going to go in a minute. I do need to go and get some shut eye and then get on with another busy day, but busy but chilled, enjoying what I do. I have to say that even though I've been home 3 months poorly, I've had a really good time. Being a bit poorly wasn't so good, but I've enjoyed myself. I've watched films. I've listened to podcasts. I've done so much. Oh, hello, Carol. Nice to see you. Carol's in. Hello, Carol. So I've done loads, but I haven't overdone it. And if I just wanted to sit on a chair and watch the world go by or whatever, I did. You're off to bed now as you're working tomorrow. Okay, Tracy, I'm going to go in a minute anyway. So night night. Thanks for joining us, Tracy. Yeah. What was I say? I forgot what I was saying, but never mind. I'm tired. I need to. Oh yes, I know. Just sitting. Sometimes I just sit and just think, and I never did that in my former life. I was always on the go all the time, busy, busy, busy here, busy there. I just enjoy sitting sometimes, just doing nothing. Obviously I do like doing my crafts and things, but sometimes even that I don't want to do. But for now, what I need to do is go and sleep. So I am going to go and get some sleep. Thank you, all of you who've joined me this evening on the broadcast. I'm glad that you're happy to see me back. I'm happy to be back in the community, should I say. I would like to thank people like Yvonne and Kath and Corrie, who kept other people informed. How's my garden doing? Oh dear, my garden needs a bit of love. My garden needs a bit of love, and it needs some weeding. And I did do a little bit the other day, but I am not going to overdo it. I'm going to rethink the garden so I make it much more manageable. So I'm working on that at the moment, Tracy, just working out how it can be more manageable. Yes, plans for that. I still have about a bag of bulbs, daffodil bulbs, at the bottom of my stairs that I bought back in November, and I meant to plant them, and then I was ill, and I haven't got them in. Some of them have grown and flowered in the bag, and some of them are still fine. So I will put them in, and I will have flowers in June or July, because I did that once before. I planted them at end of March, and they came out. It's not what I always do, it's just what happened. They came out in June. Mary, how does my garden grow? It grows a lot of weeds, but because it's been so wet, when I went to pull the weeds out, lots of them came out very easily. Anyway, I can feel myself falling asleep, and I don't wish to fall asleep on camera, so I think I better pack up and go. But thank you ever so much for everybody coming in here. If you want any more information about Octopus Energy or about the Top Cash site, let me know. If you want to ask me anything else, please do. I try and come up with answers if I can. Hazel saying, have a good sleep. Good to see you back. Only trouble is it's now 9:45 and you're still sitting there in your dressing gown. Must go and get a shower and get ready for the day. Have a lovely day, Hazel. My family, I don't know if you were in the broadcast when I said, my brother has been helping me today with lifts and that, but I'm sure he's had a very early night because my nephew and his wife and his daughter are in the air at the moment on their way to Gatwick Airport from Australia. And they're here. I don't know whether they're here, how many weeks they're here. But what is nice is because they are coming to the island, I get to see all my 3 children again because they're all coming to link up with that part of the family. But then they're not all coming on the same day. My daughter's doing a day trip. My son and his and my other grandchildren, his partner, they're doing 2 or 3 nights. And I'm not quite sure what child number 3 is doing, but he will be coming to stay. Well, no, they've got camper vans, so they stay in their camper vans. But obviously, I'm a bit of a base as well. So, folks, that's it. I'm going to go. Hello, Kim. Nice to see you. But I've just been broadcasting for over 2 hours, 2.25 hours, and I'm just going to go. But lovely to see you, Kim. And yes, good having family contact. It is, and I will enjoy it. And I'll lap it all up and make lots more memories. And I will be at some stage going to my daughter's. We're trying to find a time when I can go to my daughter's to stay, because I haven't been there for over a year because she was having her house renovations. And now that's still not at an end, but it's getting there. So I'm going to go and stay with her. And that'd be nice. And I'm looking forward to doing more crafting with at least one of my granddaughters, several of all that family love crafting, but one of the girls seems to like it even more than the others. So looking forward to that. Night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And I am just now going to push the end the broadcast button, go and have a hot drink and go to bed. Bye. Thank you.